Hi, I'm Mark.
I'm Lisa.
This is, what's our show called?
So the Adventure Begins.
And So the Adventure Begins. So we're starting a new YouTube channel. We're going to document that we are starting this new life of RV camping as our hobby and recreation. And we figured as newbies, we'd kind of take you on the journey with us. We bought our camper, which is right behind us, Gretchen, and we named her. And we're taking our first trip in an hour. We're going to the Outer Banks, and we are here in New York.
Fairport, New York.
Fairport, New York. Towing our RV was no big deal at all. Our Audi Q7 pulled it just fine. We have a 3-liter 6-cylinder turbo engine that has a 7,700-pound towing capacity, and even with all the weight inside, we had no problem. We drove right through the center of Pennsylvania on Route 15, and gassing up, well, you do a lot more of that with a camper. Here we are getting into our first stop, boondocking at a Cracker Barrel. Our very first night in an RV was boondocking at a Cracker Barrel in Virginia. All right, so here we are. We're at Cracker Barrel in Dumfries, Virginia, right outside of Washington. We made it through our first official night in the RV, in the camper. Our family's debating whether we call this an RV or a camper. I say RV, but they say camper. So, anyway, we're gonna go have breakfast. Boondocking at Cracker Barrel was good, except we were right, as you can. I'm gonna try and turn around here. There is a major highway right by us, and that was pretty loud. In fact, there must have been a biker bar nearby, because at about 12:30 at night, about 10 Harley Davidsons started up, and unfortunately not in unison, one after another for about 45 minutes. So it was like a parade. That kept us up a little bit, but nothing a good breakfast can't cure. We've got another 4 hours until our destination at the Outer Banks, and yeah, that's what we're looking to do today. But the first night in the RV was successful. Most Cracker Barrels will allow you to stay for free overnight in your camper, and to say thank you, it's good to have a breakfast or a dinner or a lunch. We recommend the breakfast, and then we were on our way. With a quick stop in Williamsburg to stretch our legs, we headed straight down to the Outer Banks. Going through the tunnels in this area, well, pretty easy with a camper, but make sure your propane tanks are off. They will remind you of that when you go through. Here we are entering the Outer Banks KOA West in North Carolina, and this was a great campsite. You'll notice that there's 2 campers that are just alike. My brother-in-law and sister bought the same camper as us at the same time, and we are all Newbie Campers. This was our very first camping trip, and what a great campground it was. You know, they talk about the North Carolina sky, and I'll tell you, the sunrise and sunsets over the Currituck Sound were just amazing. I would do a time lapse every morning of the sunrise, and we were so fortunate to have great weather our whole trip. We would sit in the morning, have coffee, and plan out our day. It was a great way to enjoy nature and the beautiful April air. Nestled on a peninsula in the Currituck Sound, the Outer Banks KOA West is a great campground if you enjoy the water. We were there in April, so it was still a little bit chilly in the morning, but not bad, and we would get up and enjoy the sunrise, and in the evening have a wonderful sunset. Even the inland sites on this campground are fine. There's not a bad campsite to be had at this campground. Most of the campsites, I believe, are full hookup, and there were cabins that were great for people who don't have RVs or travel trailers, but still want to stay at a campground, or maybe they're there visiting family that has an RV or a travel trailer. Bouncing pad, a dog park, a playground, great facilities, all are things that you can enjoy here at this campground under the Carolina sky.
Well, I'm already there.
So the first trial and tribulation of camping is we got a nail or a screw in the tire, and let's see, boom, right there. But fortunately, our camper came with a spare full of air, and it's a full size. So that's good. And hopefully we can get this tire fixed up today.
Or just another day. We hope you have a good just another day.
But I will tell you this.
I know.
What comes with the camper is not going to get these wheels off. We had to use a jack and a bar from a vehicle. After all the hard work of replacing that spare tire, we travel over the bridge onto the island where Kitty Hawk is straight ahead, Nag's Head to the south, and Duck to the north. We made it a little bit past Duck to Corolla to see the lighthouse, the Corolla Lighthouse, which some say is haunted. We saw no evidence of such, but we had a great time just checking it out. You can go up in the lighthouse, but the line was pretty long, and I think it was about $10. We chose not to, although I think that would be a fun experience next time we're in town. Just next to the lighthouse is a really nice little park where you can go crabbing. Just go for a nice walk on their boardwalks, and it was such a beautiful day, so we just decided to walk around. But we did see some people crabbing, which seems to be something that people like to do in the Outer Banks. Then a quick just jaunt down to the beach to check things out. It was still a little breezy and a little cool, but it was a nice day, and we walked around for a while, and as you can see, that Currituck Lighthouse just on the other side of the island in the background. Okay, so we're in Duck, North Carolina, which is just over the bridge, and we went over to the Currituck Lighthouse, which is in Corolla, whatever you call it.
Corolla. It looks like Corolla.
And now we're at these like really cool shops here in Duck, which is like tons of little shops, and they're all connected by a boardwalk.
Beautiful area.
It is, I should say, we watched a lot of videos on North Carolina and wondered what the temperature and weather was like in the beginning of April, but it is April 7th, and it is 65
sunny.
and sunny, and it's a little windy.
A little windy.
A little breezy, we'll call it breezy.
In the shade, it's a little cool, but the idea is to stay in the sun and get some vitamin D.
Yeah, we're gonna get some food, and I've heard that Donuts on a Stick and Duck Donuts are the two places that you must eat at when you're in Duck, and maybe we'll be trying both, who knows. Oh, actually, Duck Donuts closes every day at 1, and it is about
1:30.
Okay, so we're getting Donuts on a Stick. We'll let you know. Okay, so we didn't get a chance to try Duck Donuts, but we did go to Donuts on a Stick not once, but twice during our visit. Here they're making me what they call a tuxedo, which is a chocolate-covered donut with a white frosting, and then we topped it off with some ice cream and whipped cream. It was an amazing dessert to have, and definitely filling.
Wow. I see, thank you. Oh my gosh.
We're on the Duck Boardwalk, which is a really long boardwalk, beautiful views and lots of really cool little shops. And we stopped at Donuts on a Stick, and we got awesome donuts. This is what's left of my chocolate peanut butter donut with ice cream and whipped cream, and it's awesome.
And donuts?
And donuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, after eating all those donuts, sure does make you hungry. Not. But when we got back to the campground, we had tacos in a bag, which I guess is a thing when you're camping. So you get all the taco necessities and you crumple up some Doritos, and then you put that taco meat and lettuce and tomato and cheese, and you put all that in the bag, mix it all up, and you've got a nice little camping treat. That was what we did for dinner that night. Needless to say, I didn't eat a whole lot, still full from those donuts. So here I am contemplating my thoughts the next morning about what that day's activities were going to be. Well, we decided to travel once again over the bridge, which is about a 45-minute drive from the campsite, and we traveled to Jockey Ridge State Park, which is just south of Kitty Hawk, and it is a dune, which is just an amazing place to see. I have never seen anything like it, especially on the East Coast. Rolling hills of sand. I would have to imagine that many movies were filmed here. You definitely, when you go camping, I think that if you're a new camper, you still have this tendency to, okay, you set up camp and now you want to leave and go to do all these things like you would when you stay at a hotel somewhere. But one of the great things about camping is literally
It's
just
part of your vacation. The
just
campground you're on.
staying at the campground and doing nothing and enjoying your campsite and enjoying your camper.
And relaxing.
But it's kind of hard to wrap your head around at first because you think you just got to keep
It
going.
is. I think we'll have a good middle.
A good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are out right now playing around, and and then we'll probably take maybe
Our
a nap
kids,
later.
our adult kids, are out running around, playing around.
Well, there was just too much more to be able to share in one video. Maybe we'll make another video of the rest of our trip to the Currituck Sound in North Carolina, but this is us leaving back to Rochester, New York. If you enjoyed this video, I ask you please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be bringing you all kinds of travel related things, and hopefully it'll give you some insight into some of the places that we travel to so that you'll have a better understanding when you go camping.